Do you need business cards as a freelancer? Coming up. Hello and welcome back to the Freelanceverse. Thanks so much for coming back to the channel. I just got a delivery yesterday of this little package here and it actually inspired me to make today's video. So today we're going to talk about business cards. Some people in the industry would say business cards are outdated and not needed anymore, right? To an extent, I agree with that statement, but obviously not fully. As you know, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn and I think LinkedIn is the perfect business card, a digital one, and there's not much to add to that, right? Nowadays, when you meet someone, you can just connect on there and that's it. But I'm aware that they can still matter in some cases, even if it's just as a motivation to get you going, because that was the case for me. Like when I started my business back in 2016, that was one of the first things I did. I registered, I made a website, and I made business cards. For some reason, I knew that I probably don't need them immediately, right? But it gave me the motivation I needed. Let me actually check it. I have them still. I can easily show them because literally nothing on here is valid anymore. I don't have the same logo. I don't have the same website, email address, phone number, nothing. But yeah, it was quite cool. I really liked it. It has kind of this this mountainous feel to it, and then in the back I have my details, my old details. Yeah, that's maybe the first tip of the video. If you decide to go for it and if you decide to make a business card, don't order a batch of like 1,000 or something, right? Because so quickly things can change for good or for bad. You know, for me, like the domain I lost, I said it in the last video, right? But you know, you move country, or in my case, I moved country. I had to make another phone number. So if I ordered 1,000, then they would all be gone, right? Or you have to actually manually change the phone number. So if you go for it, just order 100 or so. That's usually the minimum. I ordered now 150 for this batch that I just got. And then if you need more, you can just contact the company and order more, right? Now, I haven't used business card in a long time. As I said, in 2018 I moved here, so since then these old ones are not valid anymore, and I've never missed them. I've never used them since then. But now actually something came up. I will go to a conference at the end of June together with MemoQ. They reached out to me and we will collaborate on a video. So I will go to MemoQ Fest in Budapest and I will actually film a video there, right? Now, I thought this is really a different scenario because I go to a translation conference where I am a relevant audience, right? And I also go for work there. So I will be, you know, filming around my tripod. People will probably come up to me and ask what I'm doing and stuff. So I decided I want to have new business cards. Not only because I'm now doing YouTube, but also because I have a new website, a new email address since October last year. So I wanted to kind of combine the two brands of Freelanceverse and my translation business that I now build with my own name, Adrian Probst. And that's why I have now my new business cards. And they are here. I love them. They're really cool. So I decided to go for a QR code because I think QR codes became very prominent now in the pandemic. So I have my Freelanceverse logo with the QR code that links directly to the YouTube channel. And then in the back, I don't show everything, but in the back I have my name, my language, my title, my language combinations, email, telephone, and the new website. So very, very sleek, very... yeah, nice design. I really like the blue from the channel. It ties it all together and I'm really happy how they came out. I went for the round edges, which is a nice touch. So I thought I want to talk a bit about, you know, business cards for freelance translators. What should they entail? What do you need to look out for? So let's get right into it. So I think on the front side, you should have your logo, right? So you will definitely make sure to print both sides, right? So like I did in the first one, also in the second one. The first one, you can really have fun, be creative, put your logo, put a nice background, whatever, put a QR code if you want, if you have something to promote, maybe a code to your LinkedIn, that could work. And then on the back side is where you actually provide the information, right? Your business card is basically the information, how someone can reach out to you, right? So all your communication channels have to be on there. So you will write your name, you will write your profession, your language combinations, you will write your email address, your phone number, and your website if you have, and that's basically it. I wouldn't write the postal address because it's not really relevant in our field and it just takes up space, right? And it's actually much nicer if you have some space around the backside where you can also maybe, you know, write a little something when you connect with someone. You can remind them what you talked about, or if you already made an appointment for a meeting, you can write it also on there. So I like to have a little space in the back to write something on it. Building on that, I would not go for the glossy version. I did that in my first one and it was kind of a mistake because you can't really write on this, right? If you use ink, it will just smear away. That's why here I have actually ordered a sustainable material that has a very textured surface, so you can easily write also with ink on it. And then I went for the round edges. That's just a preference. If you like it, you can. Otherwise, the normal edges are perfectly fine. Now for this batch of 150 business cards, double-sided with sustainable paper and like not black and white colored, I paid around 55 euros, I think. Yeah, between 55 and 60 euros. They actually came back to me to charge a bit more for something that they didn't account for because of the QR code. So it ended up around 60, maybe 65 with tax. So now I will have these, and at MemoQ Fest end of June I will use them the first time. I will just, you know, put them everywhere in the conference basically so people can pick them up. And if someone asks about what I'm doing here, I will also give them one. And if I film an interview with one, I will hand them out. And that's really something you can do when you go to a conference or when you talk to potential direct clients. When you, in an agency context, you don't need business cards, right? It's not a habit to do that, but when you go to a conference, now that the world opens up again and you can actually go out, you should definitely have, or I say definitely, you don't need technically business cards. That's why I make this video. I'm just saying, if you want to make yourself feel motivated, if you're just starting out, it's a great motivation. Like when I got this box with these ones, I was so hyped. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm gonna succeed, you know. So even it's a very small thing, but it can have a big impact if you are like me and if you get motivated by things like this. A lot of people don't like to give away business cards in conferences because they find it awkward, they don't find the right moment. And to these people, I just want to say, don't worry, it's perfectly normal in a business context to do that, right? So if you talk in a networking event, if you talk to someone, you find them interesting, you say what you do, etc., and then you kind of go your separate ways, you can easily just, as a goodbye, just hand them your card and say, hey, this is my details, reach out to me if you ever want to collaborate. It's not awkward at all. No one will say no, thank you, and if they do, that's also fine. You will never see them again, so don't worry too much. I think it's a cool way to stay in people's minds. And some people also like to put a picture of themselves, of the face on the business card. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I find it a bit corny, but you know, it can be a good reminder of who you are. And if then your face is there, like people remember you maybe a bit more. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'm very happy how they turned out. And yeah, just a quick video on business cards for freelancers. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, this is tailored to freelance translation, to now YouTube. That's why I made these ones, right? But if you are a different kind of freelancer, the same applies. Business cards are kind of old, kind of out of fashion, but it's a very small business expense that you can fully deduct from the taxes, and it kind of gives a bit of credibility, and I like to do it. So why don't you go ahead? Let me know in the comments if you have business cards, if you ever use them, and I see you next Monday with the next video. Take care, make sure to subscribe. Bye bye.